Alright, I just want to record offline because I don't know who's going to step into this room. You could see the room I'm in, and it's like a quiet area, but nobody comes to it. So, let me. Oh, am I breathing into this? Dang it. Okay. So, Deputy Weldon wrote a uh, his depiction of what happened, and then loosely associated it with a crime in a roundabout way. So the crime I've been charged with is criminal trespassing in the third degree. On January 3rd at 12:30, Deputy Weldon made contact with a suspicious vehicle parked on the lot of Southland Baptist Temple, and that is outside of the city jurisdiction. Southland Baptist Temple has previously requested assistance from the sheriff's office with preventing people from loitering on their property out of concern for the thefts and drug activity prevalent in the area. Upon observing the vehicle, Deputy Weldon was unable to read the registration plate due to it being partially obscured by a strap used to secure bicycles to the rear of the vehicle, as well as the bicycles themselves. The registration was finally given to dispatch correctly. Finally, he must have spent hours on that. Correctly, and was confirmed to be valid. The operator of the vehicle was asked repeatedly for his identification. So we just cut to the point where we're talking already. Okay, so the operator of the vehicle was asked repeatedly for his identification, which he refused to produce, being more concerned with ensuring that his many cameras were operational and turned on to record the interaction from multiple angles, presumably to post on YouTube, as he had multiple YouTube reference decals all over his vehicle. So what he's saying is multiple cameras and multiple decals advertising my Daily Roamer channel. He had just associated the multiples in that way. Deputy Cain arrived, or as he likes to call himself, Deputy Bashir, arrived to attempt to assist with the situation by lying about his name, and was also unable to garner cooperation from the operator by lying about his name. Sergeant Burrow arrived and again advised the operator of the vehicle that he was trespassing on private property. He advised the operator that our intent was to identify him, confirm valid insurance for the vehicle, as we were asking him to leave in that vehicle from the church property. Well, there it is, yeah. They in writing, they can say that they were asking me to leave the property, but on conditions, and allow him to leave. The operator continued to be more concerned with arguing and getting recordings of the interactions than he was with the repeated lawful requests for identification and vehicle insurance. After a final warning that if he failed to produce identification, that he would be arrested for trespassing in lieu of being allowed to drive away immediately upon confirmation of his having a valid operator's license and insurance. The operator was placed under arrest when he continued to argue rather than comply with the lawful request. Search of his person incident to arrest for criminal trespass. Third, revealed a wallet containing his Washington State identification and his identity of Travis Hines. He continued to refuse to produce insurance for the vehicle, which was left parked in the lot of Southland Baptist Temple with his cameras attached, broken windshield and passenger compartment full of miscellaneous items piled so high as to potentially prevent him from safely operating the vehicle without moving them from his field of view. Hines was transported and lodged in the McCrackin County Regional Jail. So I see a lot of irrelevant stuff that he just brought up. He's just making observations and then trying to also stretch the truth. And it's something that body cams will put into more better perspective. Even Deputy Burrow said that he didn't need to write a report. That if we have a trial a few months later, that he had just watched the body cam to refresh his memory. And he said that on body cam, because I tried to ask as many questions as I could when I had the opportunity, and it should all be on body cam. So that's it. How many minutes did that take? I don't even see a timer. Oh, there it is. 6 minutes. Okay. Yeah, it's really frustrating. They left my cameras on top of my car. The camera I placed away from my car, they put inside. The camera necklace that I had, they took off me and put inside my car. But the cameras that were on top of my car, and even the lights, they just left. And when I got back, they were covered in frost. It was so cold. The whole car was covered in frost. The, the cameras were dead and covered in frost. I didn't, and that was the GoPro Max and the GoPro Fusion. I didn't even turn on the Fusion. I think that Fusion might have survived the cold. If I would have turned that Fusion on, I bet that would have survived the cold. The Fusion seems to produce more heat than the Max. It's a bigger battery, but I just pulled it out and didn't turn it on. I didn't even press the button. I should have. I was just kind of thinking, I don't know how long, usually the interactions are short. I should just have all cameras firing. My necklace cam I should have had on right at the start, the Fusion, just for possibly a chance at one of them surviving. That was really cold. More cold is coming. I'm not looking forward to. You can see the address of this church, 927 Yarborough Lane. Really, it's more Temple Lane. I turned on to Temple and then into the parking lots. Not, Yarborough might be perpendicular to Temple. But yeah, all three of these guys are the three Stooges. And I would say Burrow is Mo, and what's his name? Weldon. Yeah, Weldon would be Larry, and then Cain would be the big fat Cain. He'd be Curly Cain. These guys really don't do the public a favor acting in the way that they do. This is outside the city limits, so there's no city jurisdiction here. That's why the city police weren't involved. Not too incredibly far outside the city limits, but far enough so that it's within county jurisdiction. And usually I expect county jurisdiction to be more loosely. They don't have city ordinances. Okay, it's a little bit more loose in their conduct, in their enforcement, in their laws, because they don't have that city commission. Apparently, it's commission run city in Paducah. So they got commissioners, which kind of make it a bit of a law enforcement disaster for the public. So I guess they'd have a police commissioner, and they tend to be very pro-police. When you have commissioners, you have a more pro-police type of city structure. And then the whole state, apparently the governor signed something into law in November, giving the police more power and money. He wants to make more of a police state. So I'm expecting a lot of resources to be thrown at me to get this charge to stick, because that money's got to go somewhere. If it's not spent, then it just goes to waste. That's the government's attitude. It doesn't go into a savings account to be spent later. It just I don't know. It goes back to whoever was trying to give it to them, and if they don't spend it, it just goes to waste. They have a different they have a different perspective on money. So I saw this report. I saw this very report. Oh, that's that way. I saw this very report at the jail. Okay, and I asked to read it by Jailer Hall, and he gave it to me and letting me read it. And then he's like, "Oh, give me it back." And then I never seen it after. I think he was supposed to make copies of this for me, because if random lawyers can easily go on their computers and get my police report, I think I was supposed to be given it right away. And then I asked the prosecutors to give it to me, and they say you got to wait until your arraignment, where you plead guilty or not guilty. With no information, with no evidence, I can't plead anything. They just make me wait and then plead with no information, no body cams, no pictures, no police reports, just plead. And the arraignment to me it seems in the South at least, an arraignment to me means that's when you finally get your evidence, or that's when you start asking for your evidence on the record. It's not a time to plead guilty or not guilty based on no information about the matter, and then start making arguments about the lawful nature. I don't even know if I'm allowed a jury. I don't know the standards for a free lawyer. I'm just kind of waiting. The weather's bad and getting worse. I'm getting scared about getting caught in the 0-degree weather. So that's another stress. I don't want to leave this city until I can settle this matter honorably. But I mean, if a tornado's coming in, you don't just try to fight the other people. You don't. That kind of interrupts the proceedings as far as I'm concerned. Maybe not for the locals. Maybe they're very prepared to handle any inclement weather around here. But I'm only prepared by running. Just get away from the area to seek higher ground. So I took pictures of these officers. They keep a picture of all the pictures of the officers at the sheriff's department. I put that on my Facebook, and this is the Facebook. The people who called the cops on or want to exchange ID with Travis Hines. There's another one that's same name as my YouTube channel. Let's exchange IDs with Travis. That's got 22,000 people, and they haven't posted since December of 2022 now. They were just posting a ton of videos, and then they just stopped. They ran out of content. I don't put out content fast enough, and then they seem to have given up on that. But that's not my channel. This is my channel. I got 787 people, and I can post documents on this Facebook a little bit easier in the full display. Unlike on YouTube, you kind of have to squint or expand. But yeah, this is all the information I have so far about the details in my arrest. Weldon wrote it. There's nobody else who's written any statements, and I wanna hold them to that. I don't want to find out later that the other officers decided to write statements as well. So I mean, I don't quite know how to file documents yet. I guess I'm going to be requesting verbally what I what I want for the discovery, and it's going to be everything. I want, yeah, the cameras, the statements, the pictures. I want the radio communication too. I'll ask for that. And I want to make sure that they didn't get, or make sure that they did get the church video of the parking lot. Did you get it? Are you gonna get it? Do you intend to? Well, I don't care if they intend to use it. I just want it. If it's exculpatory, I want all their evidence. Have they made an effort to get the church video, if there is such a thing? All of that evidence. Just give me all the evidence, and then we can discuss. I wanna ask to perform Zoom hearings. If we can't settle this quickly enough, I might have to communicate over long distances and then return back more in the springtime when the weather's a little bit better. Because this is a bad time of year. I say between January 15th and February 15th. It's one of the coldest times of the year. So it's not, I can't stick around and deal with that. People say go into a hotel or the homeless shelter, but I don't want to pay for that. And homeless shelters are horrible. It's better for me to just move. I use that $100 a night hotel money for gas and move south instead. It doesn't seem to make sense to a lot of other people, but it makes sense to me. Just run. So, all right, I'm gonna stop this. It's just a short reading of the charge